Friends, in this video, I am going to talk to you on the topic ithought and retail investors. 11 years ago, when we began our journey, we were very clear that we would work for every investor. A week ago, I was in an event and a friend who also runs an investment management firm asked me a question. Why are you doing all this? You don't need to do this. His question was obviously directed at me personally, and his point of view was an investment management firm is usually purposed around fees, earnings and assets under management. And whatever rate an investment management firm grew, his logic was, as an investor, I could always do better than that. That comparison never existed in my mind. In my mind, the motivation was very, very simple. As an investor, I have learnt from several others, and in my investment journey, many people have ensured that I don't fail, I don't move away from the path of correctness, and I grow to my potential. I would call all of them my advisors. But in the age that we live in, every retail investor cannot be as lucky to find such advisors. The thought that occurred to me looking at the 2008 crash was this: the retail investor needs an advisor who's going to be there with him for a very, very long time. The investor will grow and the advisor has to cater to the needs of growth as he grows. So the journey would be a smooth, continuous one where an investor scales up and is always supported by an ecosystem. ithought was always meant to be that ecosystem. Over this decade, the area where we originally began went through tremendous transformation. I am referring to the mutual fund space. First, distribution and advisory got segregated. Second, investors made a choice. They could either be in distribution or in advisory. Third, the PMS category, which we entered later, went through a further transformation where the minimum amount became 50 lakhs. So, we saw investors making multiple choices. Lastly, digital became de jure because you started getting app-based investing and people investing digitally as the norm. Through all this, we have continued to be relevant simply because we have performed that role of an advisor, of a firm that supports the investor in his evolution, growth and achievement. That has been our primary motive. That was the motive with which we started this firm, and we have been continuing to labor to fulfill that motive and take it to the higher level. So whatever we bring as a product or as a service is aimed at meeting the rising investor expectations. Through this, we have maintained a very clear ground rule. We are kept away from extremely volatile and speculative ways of offering advice. For example, we don't sell model portfolios, we don't give stock tips, we don't let out research reports, we don't create anything which can create volatility in our investor's portfolio, which will later disturb his investment performance. So we want to do this quietly, consistently and correctly. Where does the retail investor fit in? Over time, as distribution and advisory got segregated, as PMS became a product for a higher net worth individual, we have ensured that investors can transform their choices as they grow. It is not feasible for a quality advisor to service a smaller advisory client, which means that those clients who want fiduciary advice would still need to go to the distribution model where there is a strong fiduciary connect and where they would be very comfortable in the product ecosystem. And that is the first thing that we have now curated so that our investors who are very small can still be with us and they would be with our distribution arm and do their investing digitally with a lot of support from our ecosystem. That support is in the form of product literature, experience webinars, content, choice making simpler, and a very refined, smooth and risk-centric investment experience. So, you would not be buying something which doesn't suit you, you would ensure that you kept away from the high risk parts of the market and you would always be within a zone of comfort so that you are making your investment actions without fear or greed. You would basically make these actions in a way which is sensible. As the investor grows, he has the choice of moving into a pure advisory area once he crosses 50 lakhs. So, once you cross a portfolio value of 50 lakhs, you could stop the distribution method and move to a pure advisory method which would be fee based. We have also curated very robust products as part of our PMS ecosystem where people who want very sound advice but at the same time don't want the burden of execution can experience a multi-product ecosystem which is suited to them and which will deliver on their long-term wealth creation and retirement goals. So, we have not only created a very robust advisory model, we have also ensured that the same model can do much better things and layered it with much better options and created the PMS model which would deliver to an investor as he keeps growing. Overall, the ecosystem addresses every kind of investor, ensures the investor grows, meets his needs as he grows and fulfills his growing needs for better advice, nuanced advice and consistent advice. In all this, we encourage clients to be better planners. Once you cross 50 lakhs, you will definitely need a financial plan because that will ensure that you are focusing on much bigger goals, much more prioritized goals and very concentrated investment opportunities and ensuring that your goals make use of these opportunities and get fulfilled in due course to a plan. So, no investor is too small, every investor is important, every need has to be fulfilled and as the needs grow, the investor evolves and we have a very evolved system waiting for that investor to experience. So, in our system, there would not be a case where the investor has grown, but we have not grown to fulfill what he needs. In fact, we are waiting for the investor to grow and make use of what we have created. And we have created all this much ahead of time and are lying in wait for people to experience them. So we invite you to experience the ithought way in whatever form that suits you and to be with us on this journey. We would love to be your advisors for a very, very long time to come. Trust is the key and relationships are the most important. Thank you for watching this video.